All right, welcome to This Explainer. What if I told you that by 2026, the traditional bi-weekly paycheck is basically becoming a relic of the past for thousands of Americans? Because there's this massive economic shift quietly happening right now. Thousands of people are earning weekly income from home, and they are entirely bypassing the old corporate ladder. We're talking no traditional degrees, literally never stepping foot inside a cubicle, and never even meeting their bosses face to face. And look, I get it. That might sound like a late-night infomercial pitch, but the underlying economics are actually incredibly sound. The entire online job market has completely radically shifted its incentive structures. So today, we're going to break down the specific mechanics of exactly how you can take advantage of it. I really want you to think about the emotional and, the financial weight of this question. Imagine waking up on a Monday morning, you grab your phone, and boom, there's a direct deposit notification for work you wrapped up just a few days ago. No more agonizingly counting pennies on the 29th of the month, right? No more of that financial stress just building and building as you wait for that one massive, consolidated paycheck to finally clear your bank account. Instead, it's just consistent, reliable, weekly cash flow. And this isn't some pipe dream. This is a very real payment structure that the modern remote job market has widely adopted to lock down the best talent.
The contrast between the two is honestly staggering. The old way of working was so rigidly built around monthly pay, sitting under those awful fluorescent office lights, literally wasting hundreds of hours a year just sitting in traffic and facing these super strict and frankly outdated degree requirements just to get your foot in the door for an interview. But the 2026 reality, it completely flips that model on its head. It's entirely focused on weekly cash flow, decentralized remote work, highly flexible hours, and here's the kicker. It is skill-based rather than credential-based. The modern economy values what you can actually do way more than where you went to school.
So, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to start off by unpacking the weekly pay revolution. Then we'll look closely at accessible entry-level roles, explore how to pivot into high-income opportunities, navigate the incredibly lucrative AI content frontier, and finally, we'll finish up with a concrete roadmap detailing exactly how you can get started today. Okay, Section 1. The weekly pay revolution. No office, no degree, no face-to-face. Let's get into it.
So a lot of people still operate under this assumption that remote jobs are either super rare or intensely competitive. But the reality? Businesses are eagerly, almost desperately transitioning to weekly payouts. And you might be wondering why. Well, because it makes perfect financial sense for them. By eliminating those massive commercial real estate leases, the heavy utility bills, and all those fancy in-office perks, companies free up a ton of capital. And what do they do with it? They use that freed up cash to pay remote workers faster. It acts as a massive magnet to attract flexible talent. The companies get the lean, efficient operations they desperately need. And in return, the workers get that consistent weekly cash flow. It's really just a highly efficient, mutually beneficial economic scenario that's completely defining 2026.
Moving right along to Section 2, accessible entry-level roles. How to start with zero experience.
Now, jumping into this economy absolutely does not require a master's degree, not even close. Jobs like data entry, they mostly just require you to update spreadsheets, which means basic typing skills and decent attention to detail. Customer support roles basically need good communication and human patience, which, by the way, are traits AI still really struggles with. Content writing requires little more than a solid grasp of basic English and simple sentence structure so you can draft daily blog posts. And managing social media, that doesn't mean you need a high-end marketing degree. It just means you know how to effectively format a TikTok or an Instagram reel for a local bakery that literally just doesn't have the time to do it themselves. These roles depend entirely on reliable execution, not complex qualifications.
Let's actually zoom in on one of the most in-demand roles right now, a virtual assistant. This is a remote professional who helps business owners manage their day-to-day chaos, replying to emails, scheduling, or organizing cloud files. The psychology here is absolutely key. To a busy entrepreneur, paying a virtual assistant to clear out their inbox isn't viewed as just some pesky business expense. No, they are literally buying back their own sanity and their own time. Because the value provided is so immediate and so deeply personal, these business owners are incredibly happy to pay for this service consistently, week after week. If you can navigate a computer and stay highly organized, you're honestly already qualified to start.
All right, let's jump into Section 3, high-income opportunities and how to start scaling your weekly earnings.
Look at the stark difference between these two specific approaches. General content writing is a fantastic starting point. Beginners can easily make a few $100s a week just summarizing information or drafting basic articles. But then, look at copywriting. Copywriting commands entirely different rates because it taps into persuasive psychology and deep marketing principles. Its one and only purpose is to drive tangible sales and convince the reader to take a specific action. Because you are directly impacting a company's bottom line and their overall revenue, your earning potential exponentially jumps from hundreds to literally thousands of dollars per week. It's a game changer.
At its core, copywriting is fundamentally the art of influence in written form. You are carefully selecting words that compel people to buy a product, subscribe to a newsletter, or sign up for a service. Here's a crazy fun fact. A single, well-written email campaign crafted by a skilled copywriter can sometimes generate more revenue for a company in just 1 hour than a traditional brick-and-mortar store makes in an entire month. Isn't that wild? Because of that insane leverage, it remains one of the most fiercely valued and highly compensated skills in the entire digital economy.
Now, copywriting is incredibly lucrative, for sure, but it isn't the only way to dramatically scale your income. You can tap into the booming creator economy with video editing. It is a massive market right now. Creators desperately need someone to cut out their awkward pauses and add trending music, and they will pay handsomely for reliable weekly turnaround times. Alternatively, you could monetize the academic knowledge you already have through online tutoring, teaching subjects like math or coding to students all over the globe. And finally, there's affiliate marketing, where you build a digital audience, recommend products you genuinely like, and earn a commission on every single sale. The ceiling for these roles is entirely up to your own work ethic.
Okay, let's head into Section 4, the AI content frontier. This is truly the ultimate 2026 skill. We absolutely cannot talk about the 2026 remote job landscape without acknowledging the giant elephant in the room, AI. Artificial intelligence is completely upending how businesses operate from the ground up. Companies are heavily relying on advanced AI tools for their writing, for rapid video creation, for automating tedious administrative tasks, and streamlining massive marketing campaigns. For a business to survive and actually stay competitive today, adapting to this technology is honestly no longer optional.
But right here is the massive hidden opportunity for you. Most companies are acutely aware they need AI, but they don't actually know how to use it efficiently yet. As an AI content creator, you do not need to be a software programmer. Actually, scratch that. You just need to be the bridge between these powerful AI tools and a business owner who is simply too intimidated to log into ChatGPT. By stepping in to generate their content or automate their simple workflows, you're saving them hours of frustration. Being that essential bridge allows even complete beginners to command incredibly high weekly rates.
And finally, Section 5. How to start today. This is your roadmap to weekly pay. So this all boils down to execution. And the process itself is surprisingly straightforward. Step 1 is the absolute most important. Just pick one skill. Seriously, the biggest mistake beginners make is spreading themselves way too thin by trying to learn video editing, copywriting, and AI automation all at the exact same time. Pick one that genuinely interests you. Step 2, use the endless free tutorials online to grasp the fundamentals. And Step 3, set up a clean professional profile on freelancing platforms, or simply start direct messaging business owners to offer a small free sample of your work just to build some trust.
Now, I want to be completely transparent with you here. The beginning is always slow. You will face rejection, and your first few weeks might yield very little. Remote jobs are not some magic shortcut to overnight wealth. Instead, they are a highly realistic, economically proven path to long-term financial freedom, but only if you stay consistent. Most beginners fail simply because they stop right before their momentum actually starts to build.
Think about it. Every single expert pulling in thousands of dollars a week today started from absolute zero. At one point, they had no clients, no portfolio, and no clear direction. But they took that terrifying first step. That action is literally the only separating factor between them and someone who just watches from the sidelines. In this digital economy, those who start early reap the biggest rewards later. So the final question I really want to leave you with in this explainer is, will you start today or will you keep waiting for perfect timing?